My name is Brian Alarcon,
My name is Adrian Vasquez.
and this is phase three of our Capstone project for cybersecurity foundation principles, computer science 253. In this phase three of our Capstone project, the entire idea is to have three virtual machines and use a cloud service to migrate all three machines into the cloud. The three machines that we had to migrate are a Windows 2022 server virtual machine, a Metasploitable Linux virtual machine, and a Kali Linux virtual machine that we've been using all semester. The cloud service that we decided to use was Azure Migrate because of the 100 free credits for Migrate. To begin this, we had to create an account for students in the Azure portal. Um, we then had to create resource groups and then create a project, and then we were given an appliance from there. From there, we were able to acquire a product key and a downloadable zip file, of which we uploaded into the Windows machine and then downloaded the appliance configuration manager to begin setting up the prerequisites.
So then after opening up the appliance configuration manager, the key that we obtained from creating our appliance on Azure Migrate, we basically just paste it into this box that I'm highlighting right here and press verify, and the configuration manager verifies that that key is authentic and that it's a true key. So then after it gets verified, we have to log in to Azure using the same account that we used to create um, our appliance, our Discover. So then if you still have to log in, it gives you a code, so you could copy it and then just paste it into this line when it gives it to you. Then from there, you could sign into your Microsoft Azure account, press continue. Then it'll give you a window saying that you're completely signed in, then you could just close that. Then it registers the appliance for you. Then after you register your appliance, then you're going to have to add in the credentials for all the virtual machines that you want to migrate to Azure. So to do that, you go here to add credentials. Then you select your source type. You get either a Windows server, a Linux password-based server, or a Linux SSH key-based server. I have added two credentials as an example. Let's say the Capstone Kali. So in this case, Kali is a Linux password-based server, so I selected that. Then you also have to give it a friendly name, which is basically a name that you want to give it to kind of differentiate it from other virtual machines that you want to migrate to Azure. So I just named it Capstone Kali. Then the username, all right, and the username is the actual username that you use to log into the virtual machine, which in this case is Cyber Student. And then the password is the password that you use to migrate the machine, or not to migrate the machine, to log into it. Then from there, you could add a discovery source, which is the next step. Basically, you have to extract the IP address from your selected virtual machine. So, but I did run into some issues while doing this. So to extract the IP address from the Kali Linux virtual machine, you have to type in this shell command, IPADDR, but it gives you two slots for your IP address. So one of them, it says 172.1681.128, and then this one says 1681.255. I was not too sure which one to use for this one, so I tried both. I tried both for this, and they both said that the validation failed. Wasn't sure how to fix it, so I kind of just paused right there.
So adding on to that, I ran into similar issues. Can you go back to the other screen? Yeah, just leave it there. So leading off of that, I ran into similar issues, except that I tried with the Metasploitable. Something we both did for both the Kali machine and the Metasploitable machine is that we applied hardening protocols to ensure that, once they were on the cloud, they would not be getting attacked by some Chinese Bitcoin miner. So we were as good as ready to upload to the cloud. So that being said, we started with changing the passwords and removing any or turning off any unnecessary services, and then installing SSH and a couple of other things. The Metasploitable did require a little more, as it's severely vulnerable and a severely outdated machine compared to modern day Linux machines. So I did have to update and upgrade some things, set up some firewalls, and change some stuff in the settings. That way, the SSH could be updated and even installed. But then again, I still ran into the same issues. I was able to have the correct IP address. The Windows VM was able to ping the Linux VM, the Metasploitable Linux VM, and the Linux Metasploitable was able to ping the Windows VM, but for some reason I could not get this to validate. I, the Azure Migrate like appliance configuration manager kept throwing out a debugging command, but every single time I tried it, it all turned up okay. I got what I was supposed to get. Um, and I just felt like I was running around in circles. I tried the same thing. I was able to ping from one another over and over again, and I was able to, access the Metasploitable Linux through the Windows VM. I made sure that they were both on the same network. That way they could communicate much easier. But for some reason, I just could not get it to validate.
And that is what we have so far of this phase of the Capstone project.
Yeah. We tried multiple different outlets. We're not entirely sure if it's the fact that we use Microsoft Azure or maybe it would have been different if we use a different cloud service, maybe AWS or any other one. Um, we tried. I like to think that our VMs are ready to be put on the cloud. It's just the actual migration part that has gotten us. It's bested us. But yeah, that is our Phase 3 project. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there. Happy holidays.
Amen.